I am Dana Malcolm here with your midday edition of Top Stories for Friday, March 15th, 2024. Just after this, the news that matters most.
Get armed with an alarm system from Spence Security. What if you didn't wait until your home was invaded, your family threatened, or left to the mercy of a gun-carrying intruder? What if you didn't wait for someone to enter your business and put your staff and customers at risk? And what if you made your home less attractive to burglaries and trespassers? With alarm systems starting at $499.99, Spence Security can get you armed with cameras, panic buttons, emergency notifications, and best of all, Spence Security installs low monthly monitoring from $79.99 when you sign up for 1 year. Conditions apply, so contact Spence Security today. Dependable, professional, service you can trust. That's Spence Security.
Premier Washington Mizik is warning that anyone caught facilitating illegal migration is not welcome in the Turks and Caicos Islands.
I don't care where you come from and how you came and how long you've been here, but we're serious. And if we find anybody disloyal to these islands, whether you have a PRC, a work permit, or status in this country, you can say goodbye.
He was speaking at a national press conference regarding border security Thursday evening. Richard Sankar is stepping forward to defend himself after former Premier Michael Mizik unleashed a tirade against him following a court case which found that Sankar and his husband had been discriminated against. Sankar said he applied for permanent residency in 2005, but that application was mysteriously lost. He used to work with the Mizik family, he says, and left their real estate brokerage to work for a competitor in 2007 after 11 years. The real estate broker says that's when his problems started. In that same year, under the Michael Mizik administration, he found himself on the stop list of the Turks and Caicos, with what he says is no explanation. Sankar thinks it was his decision to leave the brokerage that caused this and brought a case to find out why. That case is still pending. He was removed from the list in early 2008 and got married that year to a belonger. That marriage lasted 11 years before divorce, during which he says his wife never claimed the marriage was fake or void. It took 15 years for his permanent residency certificate to be issued by TCIG, and only after court proceedings were initiated. He said he's still waiting to find out how an employment disagreement with a powerful family of the Turks and Caicos could ever be used for the purposes of the stop list, and described Mizik's accusations against him for having a fake marriage as untrue. All that coming in a statement shared by his attorney, Tim Prideaux. Magnetic Media is your news leader.
There is simply nowhere else in the Turks and Caicos Islands that you can find such a wholesome variety of your favorite fresh foods. There is simply nowhere else in the Turks and Caicos Islands that you can find such outstanding service. And there is simply nowhere else in the TCI to answer your every food craving in a chic, comfortable, centrally located store. That's a place you can trust. Number 1 is Graceway IGA. Fresh, service, trust for over 20 years.
Confirmation has come from InterCaribbean Airways that mid-air engine trouble resulted in the turnaround of a flight from Antigua on March 13th. Carrying 36 passengers, flight JY634, scheduled from Antigua to Tortola in the British Virgin Islands, had to return to the runway when minutes into the flight, the crew detected abnormal indications with the left side engine. They say, contrary to initial reports, the engine did not catch fire, though the fire team did meet the plane when it landed for safety. InterCaribbean says its engineers are working to identify the issue. All passengers and crew disembarked safely. Alternate travel plans were executed. Forbes is reporting an increase in oil prices as of Thursday, March 14th. They say the West Texas Intermediate crude hit a 4-month high of just over $80 per barrel Thursday morning, its highest point since November 6th, while Brent crude, an international benchmark, jumped nearly 1% to roughly $85, another 4-month high. U.S. gas prices, meanwhile, surpassed $3.42 on the average, according to data from GasBuddy, marking the highest price at the pump since early November. That coming from Forbes. The Turks and Caicos Islands imports fuel from the United States. The power of attraction. Magnetic media.
This is an important advisory from Digicel Turks and Caicos. All Digicel subscribers whose SIM cards were issued prior to July 2021, kindly visit your nearest Digicel store and have your SIM card swapped at no cost to you. There's also dedicated SIM swap teams that will be at different locations throughout the various islands on specific days. Please look out for the communication via SMS text message. This is a Telecoms Commission regulatory mandate and enhances network reliability and speed. Please swap your SIM cards as soon as possible to avoid mobile service interruption.
The Sandals Foundation partnered with Sandals Corporate University and the Learning and Development Team at Sandals Resorts International to inspire more than 700 women across the Caribbean this month. In the TCI, 30 students from all high schools in Providenciales were invited to take part in a session. Each participant was crowned on arrival in a reminder that they were special and royal, which Sandals hopes will boost self-confidence. It was described as a very inspiring, emotional, and riveting session. The possibility of a very active season is what AccuWeather says is showing on its charts for the 2024 hurricane season in the Atlantic. There are two key factors that the Weather Service feels could cause a potentially supercharged season: the return of La Niña and historically warm water across the Atlantic Ocean. Last year was the fourth most active year on record. Initial predictions are subject to change. That is it for this edition of the news. Thank you so much for joining us. We come back later this evening, and you can find more details on our website at magneticmediatv.com.